Yes, my people, it's your boy VRD back at you with another Train Sim Mode 5 video. Today we're going to be taking a class 802 GWR service up from where are we now? I believe this is Plymouth. Yep, from Plymouth up to Exeter St. David's, which is all the way up here. So quite a lengthy journey today, if I may say so myself. But yeah, we are just going to jump straight into this one. The class 802, as you know, it's my first time driving a train like this. However, it is quite similar to the what's the LNER one? The 801? Yeah, the 801. It's extremely similar to the 801. Basically the same thing, to be honest, except for the fact that it runs on diesel. No, the 802 runs off of overhead wires and diesel, so it's like a hybrid kind of. The 801, it primarily runs off of the electric overhead cables, but it does have a backup diesel engine that's capped at like 20 miles an hour or something like that. I don't even know. I don't. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, so we're gonna sit in the driver's seat. Begin by setting our driver reminder appliance. Then we are going to head over to our safety systems panel. Uh, European train control system. We're gonna turn that into the normal position, even though we're not gonna. There's no need, but we're just gonna do it anyway. To put it simply, selective door opening. Okay, these are systems that I don't normally come across. So yeah, it's interesting to see that we're able to interact with these switches because that wasn't the case before. Automatic warning system, as we know, vigilance, train protection warning system, and automatic warning system. So you got two separate switches for the automatic warning systems. A bit confusing. I'm not sure why that's the case. Driver safety device and BRATP. I could not tell you what that is. I'm sorry, I do not. This is above my punching class. This train, my weight class. I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not too familiar with this kind of stuff. And then we're just gonna head over to the TPWS temporary isolation switch, flick that into the normal position as well. And that should be all of the relative safety systems successfully engaged. Just gonna double check how I'm recording. It's tradition at this point. Right, driver reminder appliance is set. Let's insert our master key here. Turn that into the on position and move the F and R switch into the off position. Sorry, not the off position, the neutral position. It's because I could see the word off there, so it kind of threw me off a bit. Acknowledge the automatic warning system self test sequence. We need to get our windscreen wipers on ASAP. There's a lot of settings for the windscreen wiper in it. We'll put it on about. It's raining quite heavily right now, so we'll put it on about 25 maybe. Yeah, we'll leave it on 25 and then we'll increase it if necessary. Why is that so fast? Anyway, headlights. I believe the headlights need to be these newer trains. I always forget what the correct headlight setting you're meant to be using is. I'm gonna assume it's the dimmed. I'm assuming it's the dimmed setting, but I could be wrong about that. Because why would it be full? Like we're in broad daylight. It would be more logical to use the full beam setting at night time. But even then, like who knows? What else do we need to do? Let's get our doors open. That would help, wouldn't it? Open the passenger doors on the right hand side. We're already 2 minutes late, but like I said, when it comes to my first look at these trains, I don't really care about the timetable too much. So yeah. GSMR. Let's register ourselves on the GSMR. Yep, 1 Alpha 88. And we're going to be calling at Tolton's, Newton Abbot, and Exeter St. David's. So, how long's our journey time? Oh, exactly an hour. Exactly an hour. Cool, cool, cool. Quickly pop outside just to look at the front of the train. Yep, we got our headlights being displayed correctly. uh I don't see a destination display anywhere. I'm sure there'd be a destination display somewhere saying Paddington, but uh yeah, even so we got one back here. We don't have one at the front, which is a bit strange. Let's have a look on this. Maybe we can. No, destination set to London Paddington. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. And also, what's going on with the door display? Like, why is it? What's going on? Wait. So we're one, two, three, four, five. We're 10 carriages long, and it's saying that some of the doors are open on the left, some of the doors are open on the right. Right, you know, I'm actually gonna quickly run back and investigate that, because if that's actually the case, then that is a ridiculously pathetic bug to be encountering. That might be even worse than the one that we had in the previous video with the 220. And why are the headlights on? Oh my goodness. Did they not test these things out before publishing them? Like, what? Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys, respectfully, I don't think I'm gonna be returning to this route. I feel like I've actually wasted quite a bit of money purchasing this route, because there's just so many things wrong with it, and it has the potential to be such a beautiful route as well. But come on, man, like that, I think that might have been the final straw. I genuinely don't see myself doing any more content on this route until all that stuff is fixed, because it's just getting irritating. It's breaking my immersion. um but yeah, I do believe we are ready to depart. Can we get a little cheeky static brake testing? Static brake test is not, because we got the doors open, so brakes are gonna be held on. Right, doors are closed and interlocked. You see we got the blue door interlock light. Signal is green, so we'll reset our driver reminder appliance, and we're gonna go into forward. Have we got a hill start? Oh, sorry, my bad, guys. Quick edit there. So where were we? The hill start button. Cool. Alright, so it's a slightly different method of interacting with this. You're not meant to hold it in. Like, you just click it once and it stays in by itself. I'd assume that isn't the case in real life. That's just the way they've programmed it in game, which is, what can I say? Right, so we're gonna give it 2 notches of power, release the hill start button. I can hear the engines revving up, so we should be on the move. Yep, we are. It's extremely sluggish to get away there. Wow. So next station is Tolton's in 20 miles. Speed limit is 25 at the moment, increasing to 55, then 60. I'm sorry, I'm upping it to notch 3. I don't have time for this. Just keep an eye on our wheel slip and slide indication there. Lacking the suspension once again. I'm going over the points there. So reduce it down to notch 2 just as we get closer to the speed limit. And then obviously, due to the 1 in 77 upward gradient that we're currently traversing, notch 2 seems to be balancing us out at 23 miles an hour, which is convenient. It's quite steep coming out here. But I'm gonna reduce it down to notch 1. there's our increase up to 55 miles an hour. So once the full 10 carriages has passed that speed board, we are going to increase, we're going to begin accelerating up towards 55. And obviously at a speed like this, it's going to take quite a while for us to be clear of the speed board. Any second now, there we go. So we're going to up it to notch 3. We're now going downhill on a 1 in 83. So that we had a very steep uphill and then we're now on a very steep downhill. So I'm not sure what that was all about. Anyway, we've achieved 30 miles an hour now. So I'm just going to do a running brake test very quickly. So I'm going to give it about 60% brake in there. Just observe the speed fall by 10 miles an hour, which it has now done. So I'm going to release the brakes now. And then let's just slap it straight into full power. I can't imagine this train getting into a lot of wheel slip with such a poor acceleration, with such poor acceleration capabilities. Speed limit's also gone up to 60 now. Okay, so it does have a bit of a kick when you achieve slightly higher speeds, but it's just moving off that's quite sluggish. Although that being said, we were on quite a steep, I'm speeding. We were on quite a steep upward gradient coming out of Plymouth there, so that might have contributed to it. Our speed limit's now going up to 70. And we are on a still on the 1 in 83 downhill, so I'm not gonna apply any more power. Just gonna allow gravity to bring us up towards 80. Then we got a reduction down to 60 in 1 mile. So I think once we roll up to 70, actually no, we're on level terrain right now, so I don't think we're gonna roll up anymore. So I'm just gauging when to get the brakes in for that 60 limit. I'm gonna get the brakes in now, give it about 45%. Oh wow, wow. Oh yeah, of course. So, guys, I'm tired. I forgot 70 and 60 are only 10 miles an hour apart. For some reason I was thinking I had to drop 20 miles an hour, but it was only 10 miles an hour. That's a bit embarrassing, you know. That is quite embarrassing. So yeah, I broke a lot earlier than I needed to. As you can see, that 60 limit is just allows us to safely travel around that right hand bend there, and then we're immediately going back up to 80 miles an hour as we exit the bend. So back into full power. So I do hope everyone's having a good day. Let me know how you're doing in the comment section below. So we're up to 75 miles an hour, speed limit is 80 miles an hour, so I'm just going to begin cutting back on the power. Just because I'm not too familiar with the gradients on this route, so I don't really want to get too close to the speed limit and then suddenly get slapped with a downward gradient, because then I have to jump on the brakes and all of that. But I'm going to return to full power at the moment because we're on a upward 1 in 86, so even in notch 3 we're losing speed. Notch 4 seems to have us balanced out at 72 miles an hour. So yeah, quite a severe upward gradient. 1 in 42 is steep, you know. That is actually steep. That is almost as steep as the Licky Incline. Licky Incline's 1 in 37. Yeah, we're literally losing speed. I'm in full power right now and we're losing speed. So yeah, extremely severe upward gradient. Right, we've got a reduction down to 60 miles an hour in zero point 0.9 miles. Just acknowledging the vigilance going off there. And we've got a moorproof board associated with the upcoming 60 limit, so I'm just going to make a light brake application as we pass that. Oh my, I lose. I'll be losing speed so quickly in this. I'm not used to it. So yeah, once again, I could have left the brake in slightly later, but obviously better safe than sorry. It just irritates me a bit because I got OCD, you see. So it when I have situations like that where I brake too early and then I'm down at the upcoming I'm down at the speed that I need to be down for way in advance of the commencement of the speed limit. It just irritates me a bit because you just in the back of your head you just know that you could have saved a bit of time. Just tapping on the brakes there because we're going uphill again. It's a very irritating section of track to be driving along. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. 30 miles to go until Totans. We seem to be passing over a viaduct of some sort. I do not know what this viaduct is called, but if anyone knows the name of it, then let me know. Not quite as high up or as long as the Ouse Valley Viaduct, but still quite impressive. So as you can see, I'm just jumping between the power notches, just trying to kind of targeting 57 miles an hour. Again, just to give me a bit of a breathing room in case we get slapped with a sudden downward gradient. So yeah, at the moment I'm in notch 2, but I've been increasing it to notch 3 or reducing it to notch 1 where I see necessary. So I'm not sure if we're gonna pass any stations between Plymouth and Totons, or if it's just a straight shot into Totons. I'm not too sure. But I kind of take back what I said about not doing any more content on this route, only because I want to do a run in the 150 as well. The 150, a bit more old school, different driving experience. I feel like I'd enjoy that a bit more than the 220 and the just shutting off the power, because we are now going downhill. So we might need to give it a bit of a brake application in a second. And we got another viaduct. It looks exactly the same as the other one, even down to the curvature of the track, which is interesting. Actually, I think this one's a bit longer, to be honest. Actually, no, similar length, similar length. What was I saying? Yeah, the 150, I feel like that would give me a more of an enjoyable driving experience as opposed to the 220 and the 802. Because in the latter trains, it's not, you're just you're just sat there watching the scenery go by. But with the 150, it's probably a bit more of an involved driving experience. Stop start, stop start, stop start. So we are passing through a station that I don't know the name of. 10 miles to go until Totons. 60 seems a bit slow. I can't lie. But obviously this is quite a bendy stretch of track, so it does make sense. But 60 is painfully slow to drive. In a train that is capable of 125 miles an hour, 60 just seems painfully slow. The sounds are quite nice. The sounds are really immersive. Yeah, there's not a lot going on right now, and obviously I can't think of anything to talk about either. So yeah, obviously I just hope you lot are enjoying the video so far, watching the scenery go by. This is why I need to start a live stream, because then at least I'd have comments to interact with. But yeah, there's not. When you're just recording a video and you just times like this, it's just a bit quiet and boring. We're speeding ever so slightly, so I'm just gonna tap on the brakes there just to bring us below 60. the signal spacings are huge on this as well. I was looking at the you see we got the distance counter for the signals at the very top right there. So at one point that had said 2.3 miles. So that I was 2.3 miles away from the next signal, which I think is insane. That is a huge signal space, and considering that I'm used to driving in a bit like more built up areas where the signal spacings are a lot shorter. 2.3 miles is insane. But I believe the longest signal section in the UK is on the Settle to Carlisle line, and I think it's 24 miles long, if my memory serves me correctly. So yeah, 24 miles. So it's just funny to think about that. Only one train is allowed to occupy a 24-mile section. That is that is inefficient, but what can I say? So you can see like now we got 1.9 miles to go until the next signal. Everything's so spaced out, but I'd assume that not a lot of trains pass along here, so it probably doesn't matter. It's just a bit unfortunate if like you like there's gonna be that one-off time where there's a lot of congestion going on because like, I don't know, a track failure or something, or an incident, and you're gonna have like a massive queue of trains. So yeah, having them all have to follow each other but stay like 3 or 4 miles apart is just a bit, is not the most efficient way of doing things, but it is what it is. We appear to be entering a tunnel of some sort. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what the tunnel's called, but it's interesting how it's got the double bore. You don't see that every day. So you got one bore for one direction and another bore for the other direction, as opposed to your standard single bore tunnel. My terminology, I'm a bit rusty, so my terminology might have been way off there, but I'm sure that's yeah. This is a double bore. Single bore is when you got two tracks inside one tunnel, or it might be the other way around. Who knows? Who knows? Still got 4.4 miles to go until Totens. I think just the fact that we're traveling at such a slow speed is making it take a lot longer than it normally would. And also the track's quite bendy. Like we've been going around a lot of bends, so our heading is changing quite a lot. Um, Obviously the distance counter down to the station, it goes off of it calculates it as a straight line between your position and the station. It doesn't actually it doesn't factor in the bends in the track and whatnot. So yeah, even though it says 3.7 miles right now, it's probably something like 4.2 or something. Just been tapping on the brakes here because we're on a downward one in 95, causing us to causing the train to try and roll above 60 miles an hour, and we don't want that at all. Right, so since we're only doing about 60 miles an hour, I'm probably gonna get the brakes in for Toten Station at probably like less than a mile out from the station. Like maybe like 600 yards out, although it is raining, so maybe 800 yards or something, just to be safe. Although we got a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit in 2.3 miles. Toten Station is also in 2.3 miles, so yeah, it appears we're gonna have to slow down for a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and I can only assume that that is due to the fact that we're gonna be passing over a turnout. We got a single yellow distance signal as well. So next signal is in 1.5 miles. Toten Station is in 1.8 miles. So we got a red signal protecting Toten Station. So we're gonna begin to slow down for that. To be fair, I've slowed down really early, but anytime it's a bit of a habit of mine. Anytime I pass a yellow signal, I just always reduce the speed, even if it's only slightly, just to kind of help me commit it to memory. Because the worst thing you want to do is just pass through a yellow signal and not do anything about it, and then you just end up forgetting. But yeah, I can see the signal coming up on the trap monitor there, so let's get back on the brakes. Chances are that this signal is going to be it's going to be approach controlled, but we obviously have to assume that it's going to remain at red. But I'm 80% sure that once we get close to the signal, it's going to jump up to a single yellow aspect with a position 1 junction indication. I've never driven on this route before, but it's just common sense. Right, we got our TPWS grids associated with the signal. If you pass over those at an excessive speed and the signal is displaying a red aspect, then you will trigger off an emergency brake application. And yeah, as you can see, signal was a single yellow aspect with position 1 junction indication. It's just jumped up to a green aspect. I'm not even gonna apply any more power because in a second we're gonna have to slow down to 25 miles an hour. So yeah, just gonna roll along a bit.
We are now approaching Totnes.
Oh, Totnes. I've been saying Totens the whole time. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. I've been saying Totens when it's Totnes. 27, 26, 25. See, we got the shunt signal there displaying the 2 white lights. So anytime you've got a shunt signal, so you could be running on the main aspect signaling. No, I need to think of how to word this. So the standard color light signals, if you're running under those, but a shunt signal happens to be situated in the middle of the signal spacing, then the shunt signal will clear to to the 2 white lights. The stop board's quite away quite away beyond the end of the platform. I'm not sure why it's like that, but yeah. And that was a beautiful stop. Look at that. Brake step 3, neutral, not brake step 3, max braking, neutral, door release on the left. Yeah, the fact that they just that the fact that the door indications on the TMS that this is showing that the doors are open on one side and then the other side further back along the train is just that is stupid and easily avoidable as well. We are 7 minutes late. Right, let's get the doors closed. We do have a green signal. Actually, no, I'm gonna split the video into two. So it's the end of part one, guys. I will catch you guys in part two.